Alright, so if you don't already know, it's been a pretty dry month for Sonic news this July. But luckily, the president of SEGA has come to save us because we want to be saved, okay? So, we got some big shit we need to talk about today. They're talking about remakes, reboots, like, they're talking about serious shit with regards to SEGA IPs, including Sonic, as well as Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Origins. Yes, Sonic Origins. Potentially winning a game award? So we're getting into all this right now. But if you're subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe, okay? So we're going to get this started off with the first article. A lot of them are kind of based on the same thing because there was an interview in Japanese with Famitsu where the president of SEGA said a lot of things about SEGA. Different articles have come and taken parts of it for their article and translated it with regards to the Sonic parts, because that's all we care about in life, right? So it says here, Sonic Frontiers sold more than SEGA anticipated, says company president. And then they put supersonic sales. Okay, lame Sonic reference. Okay, cool. Our last official update on Sonic Frontiers showed that the game has moved 3.5 million units worldwide since launch. There's no doubt hundreds of thousands of units have been sold on top of that since the last check-in, and that's only adding to a figure SEGA already considers a success. Famitsu magazine had the chance to talk to SEGA president and COO Yukio Sugino about a number of topics, Sonic Frontiers included. According to Sugino, Sonic Frontiers ended up selling more companies. Sonic Frontiers is selling companies? Damn, he's like a fucking broker for companies. That's more copies than SEGA anticipated, which is certainly a good problem to have. Sugino also noted that a lot of North American fans have shared messages about their approval of the game and Sonic's path forward, which made SEGA's team quite happy. SEGA has more in store for Sonic Frontiers, as another round of free DLC will see released sometime in the future. SEGA has yet to share detailed specifics of that free DLC, but there's no doubt it will woo a few more new customers to the game. I'm guessing they're talking about Update 3. When you say a new round, it almost sounds like you're talking like another set of DLC, like a 2024 roadmap. The way you phrase that's kind of made it seem like it could be more than it is. You got one more update coming, but when you say a round, it's like a whole new, like, you know. So I wouldn't get my hopes up for a 2024 DLC. But I mean, it's not impossible, because even in the press release documents from before Frontiers came out, they were saying things like free and paid DLC. So 2023 DLC updates could be like we're just finishing what should have been in the game in the first place, that's why it's free. And then once they've done the 2023 DLC, they might come back in 2024 and say, okay, time for the paid shit. Time for here's the new campaign, or here's the new island, or whatever the fuck, and then they want some bread. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, but we got more articles to go through. We got one here. SEGA boss on Sonic Frontiers success, considering remakes and reboots. SEGA president has commented on the success of Sonic Frontiers as well as interest in approaches like remakes and reboots. Sugino's comments came as a part of an interview published in a recent issue of Japanese magazine Famitsu. He was first asked about what was memorable last year, to which he pointed to our Lord and Savior, the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, as well as Sonic Frontiers. I can't believe the movie came out last year. It felt like ages ago. I don't know why it feels like it was a century ago. I mean, I guess it was like a year and some months. I don't know why it feels like I watched it like a century ago, but yeah. The Switch title, which is also available on other platforms, managed to sell more copies than we anticipated. Yep, and we got the interview segment here translated into English. Sugino says, of course, first I have to mention Sonic Frontiers. With Utsumi, Mr. Shuji, Vice President, Representative Director, and co-COO, that's a confusing word, of SEGA at the center, a multitude of projects meant to make Sonic even bigger than before progressed to the point of bearing fruit. In April last year, the movie Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was released in North America, which fortunately resulted in a good start, allowing our global revenue to reach over about 570 million yen, which, I mean, I don't know what the fuck that is okay, 3.1 million pounds. Wait, global revenue 3 million for the whole SEGA? That can't be right. 4 million. I mean, for a big company, 3 million is not that much. Maybe they meant billion? I don't know. We released Sonic Frontiers on the back of that and managed to sell more copies than we anticipated. That in itself was heartening. We were also happy to receive a lot of messages mainly from North American fans. Yeah, we saw this part. They expressing the joy that Sonic was moving towards a good direction. More discussion of Sonic came about later in the interview while discussing Samba de Amigo Party Central. If you don't know what that is, because you don't care, Samba de Amigo is another SEGA franchise that they recently are bringing back with some new game. They're shoving Sonic in it too to hope that Sonic fans will buy it. And they're making a VR version for the MetaQuest as well. They said that one isn't a reboot. And although Sonic Superstars isn't either, we want to have some elements of a reboot in there as well. So they're going to call Superstars a semi-reboot now? I mean, I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, Superstars doesn't feel like a reboot. Unless they're going to like start making sequels to Superstars or something like that. I don't know. Finally, Sugino indicated that SEGA is considering reboots and remakes alongside new entries. Once again, speaking about Sonic the Hedgehog, our translation is as follows. Since a new entry in the Samba de Amigo series is set to come out later, will more old IPs receive reboots as well? Sugino says, to me, Samba de Amigo Party Central wasn't a reboot, but a new entry in the series. On the other hand, Sonic Superstars that was announced the other day is a return to the 2D action of the past. So while it is a new entry, we want to have some elements of a reboot in there as well. I don't even know what he's saying here. Like, okay, elements of a... So what makes it a reboot? The fact that it's the same as it was before? Do they even know what they mean by a reboot? Like, so it's not a sequel to the classic games from before, it's just a new I don't know, because Mania was kind of branded as like the sequel to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, right? They had the elevator with 1, 2, 3 km, but if they're calling this like a half reboot, are they saying this is just its own Sonic from another dimension where classic Sonic has begun again? I don't know. So while Sonic Frontiers was a new challenge for the Sonic series, Sonic Superstars will have facets of a reboot. Sugino says, of course, we must do new things, but we are not doing both new entries and reboots for every IP. With the mindset of this is the best way of doing things for this IP, we choose to move forward with the appropriate option based on the timing for every IP. Sonic is Sega's iconic IP, so we are considering reboots and remakes alongside new entries. Reboots and remakes alongside new entries, alright? If you want to reboot something, reboot the Rivals games, right? Give us Rivals on the Switch, or make it multiplayer, but still, like, on the Switch, but online. Tons of levels, tons of races. I will totally play Rivals. Like, I mean, it was a very basic game when you think about it, but online, that shit would be intense, because you'd be going up against actual humans with similar skill level to you. There could even be a ranked mode for... Imagine Sonic Rivals Ultimate. I know Ultimate's got like a negative connotation because of Colors Ultimate, but you know what I mean, like a Smash Ultimate, like call it Rivals Ultimate, and it's like tons of levels online, and you got the knockout modes and shit, and you could rank up if you win a lot of races, or rank down if you lose a ton of races. Like, people be playing Rivals non-stop. That'd be crazy, okay? But, you know, they're not gonna do that shit. But yeah, reboots, remakes alongside new entries. As for remakes, I don't know what they're gonna remake. They already dropped a remaster of Colors. So in terms of remakes, the only thing that's really there, because they've done the Origins thing for the classics, they've done Colors for the Wisp lovers. Most likely when it comes to remakes, they're talking the Adventure games, right? Adventure 1 first, Adventure 2 second. You know, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping we get something like that, but I also hope if they do it well, and somehow find a way to keep the voice cast not meta. But yeah, Sonic Frontiers is out now on Switch, while Sonic, I guess they mean Superstars, will follow this fall. We've got another article here. So this is the full Famitsu article. I'm not going to go through all this because there's a lot of stuff here. It's like the whole SEGA article. They're talking about a lot of things. But, like, yeah. There's one more article here, and I think they talk about it again. I don't know if there's any new information in this article, or it's just the same thing here, related. Isn't it about time SEGA gave Tails a proper stamp? No. No. Tails doesn't need a standalone game, okay? Until we get a Silver and Blaze game, until we get a proper Shadow game done right, like, Tails doesn't need a whole fucking game. Like, what the fuck? Ain't no one trying to play a Tails game on his own. Like, no, just Tails. The fuck? Man, this whole character was built to be a sidekick. You want to make it? I would get a Knuckles game before a Tails game. I mean, how would that play? I don't know. But yeah, they talk about remakes, reboots. Yeah, we want to do new things. Yeah. Sonic is Sega signature IP. We're considering. Yeah. So pretty much, this is like the same thing. It's all coming from the same article. But it says here, looking towards the future, especially as it pertains to Sonic Superstars launch later this year, Sugino seemed hopeful, remarking, when the people involved see this, they always say, oh, the gameplay also incorporates quite new elements and you can enjoy it, including multiplayer. So stay tuned. Local, of course, because we're living in the 2000s. What else have we got? I don't think I have much else to say. I mean, Frontier selling well is a good thing. I hope there's more DLC after 2023. Remakes and reboots. Hopefully some adventure shit. You know, hopefully at least remasters of other things. They're not going to remake Heroes because they don't care about the GOAT. But at least a remaster that's not butchered. But given that they're not going to be using renderware, they're going to have to put in a whole new engine. And we know Sega struggles with that. I mean, after Colors Ultimate. So who knows what's going to happen with something like that. But we got one more thing to talk about, okay? It says here, Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Origins Plus have been nominated for a Game of the Year award in Japan Game Awards 2023. There's a public voting period where fans can help to support Sonic Team's efforts. Check the news story on how to vote. So for those of you who want to repeat last year and get into a voting battle with whatever other competitors are in there, you can do that effectively. There's a link here. They've got like all the data here. It's in Japanese. So it's like, they've even told you which game's which. So you can make sure you go there and vote. You can even vote by postcard. No wonder they don't have online multiplayer. In Japan, they voting by postcard. They're sending a fucking... Man, I haven't sent a postcard since like 2000 and something. My God. So this is the voting page. Compatible hardware. Title, initials. What are these? Title? I don't know what this is. Game company. Man, yeah, if you want to go through all that just to vote for Frontiers or Origins Plus, you can do that. I'm putting it out there if you're interested in that. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. Frontiers is selling well. DLC coming. Remakes and reboots. Sega's talking about, especially with Sonic. I mean, aside from that though, we need the Crazy Taxi reboot. I want the AAA Crazy Taxi with the online gameplay. Stop messing around, Sega. Seriously. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. And what else have I got to say? Oh, yeah. Big shout out to... What was I going to say? I haven't even forgotten. Check out my Kick page for Premylist. This is a Premylist Kick. This is non-Sonic. If you want to see me just stream random things on Kick, like, I'm going to build this over time. And, of course, the non-Sonic channel, of course. Make sure to subscribe to that on YouTube. We've got tons of content there. We've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. You know, we got all sorts of shit. Like, it's popping off, basically. Crash Team Rumble. Yeah, I actually got a comment on this Mario Kart 8 video. Someone said, why am I more hyped for this than I am for Sonic? I mean, it's only Mario Kart 8, one of the highest selling games of all time, and consistently well made and consistently getting updates and online, you know. But it is what it is, man. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. Link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Remy out.